Hello friends and welcome to or back to my channel. My name's Haley and today we're doing a Percy Jackson reading vlog. Okay, I am so excited about this. So if you don't know, Percy Jackson is probably my favorite series of all time. Like, Percy Jackson is to me what Harry Potter is to a lot of people. I never read Harry Potter growing up, but I did read Percy Jackson in middle school and I have loved it ever since. I reread this series a lot. It's really enjoyable for me. I read it last year with my boyfriend. This series is just so incredible to me. And then Rick Riordan gave us the gift of a new trilogy that adds on to the original Percy Jackson series. So if you don't know, Percy Jackson is a story that follows Percy Jackson, and he is a demigod. He is a son of a god and a human mother, and he goes on all these quests, and eventually the overarching plot of the 5-book series is that they are trying to defeat the Titans. And then after that, there's the Heroes of Olympus series, which is another 5-book series. I don't really want to spoil that, so like, if you want to read that, like, just go for it. And then the newest trilogy that Rick Riordan is writing is set after the Heroes of Olympus series, and it is set in Percy Jackson's senior year of high school, and he is trying to get letters of recommendations from gods, and so he has to go on quests for them, and he has to get 3. So each book is a different quest for a letter of recommendation. So that is kind of how the series works overall. I am going to be starting with book 1 and hopefully reading through book 6, skipping the Heroes of Olympus. Those ones are really large if you've never seen them. Those ones are all about 500 pages, so those ones do take a little bit longer to get through. However, the Percy Jackson ones are pretty short. They are definitely bingeable. I might be overestimating my ability to read these books all in one weekend, but you never know until you try. And the 7th book comes out on Tuesday, and I'm so excited, and I just love revisiting these every year. It's something that brings me so much joy, and so I thought it would be fun to vlog my experience trying to read this series in an entire weekend. Comment down below if you think I'm gonna do it before you watch the rest of the video. That being said, because I am reading a series, this vlog will have spoilers. Again, this vlog will have spoilers. I plan on talking about the events from each book, the characters, what happens to them. So if you have not read Percy Jackson and you do not want to get spoiled, unfortunately, this vlog is not for you, because I, again, will be discussing the events of the books in detail, and I will not be holding back. It would be very difficult to film a vlog where I can coherently speak about the books if I'm trying to not spoil the entire series. So, last warning, this does have spoilers. I am going to talk about the events of the book, and I'm going to talk about what happens to the characters. And if you have not read this series, you probably don't want to watch this. Unless you have no interest in reading it, then I guess you could watch it, but I feel like it would be kind of weird if you watched it if you don't want to read it. But anyways, I do that sometimes, I guess. I think it's around like 12:30, 1 o'clock on Saturday. And my plan is to hopefully get through 3 books today and 3 books tomorrow. I probably have some stuff to do tomorrow, but I do have the 6th one on audio, so I can do that and like listen to that and get some stuff done, hopefully. But my goal would be these first 3 books today. I don't know if I'm being reasonable or if I'm overestimating my reading speed with these books. They are middle grade, so they definitely go by quicker. But yeah, that's the plan. So I'm just gonna hop right in to book 1, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. So book 1 follows Percy as he discovers that he is a demigod, meaning that his dad is a god. And at the beginning of the book, Percy does not know who his father is, but he gets taken to Camp Half-Blood and he does get claimed by his father. And then he ends up going on a quest to find the missing lightning bolt because someone has stolen Zeus's lightning bolt. And people at the camp are definitely kind of like, why Percy? Because he's new and he doesn't really have control over his powers and such. But obviously Percy Jackson is the protagonist of this story, and he's going to become one of the most powerful demigods throughout the series. So I'm going to start this. I'm really excited to reread it. This will be my first time reading it after I watched the show, and I do think the show was really good as well. I think they added in stuff that was unnecessary, and then they left out stuff that I thought was important. That being said, overall, I did really like the show. I'm excited for the 2nd season, and I'm going to get started on Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Pause. This is supposed to be B-roll, but I forgot that these books have chapter titles, which is just so iconic.
So I may or may not have read a third of this and then taken a nap, and by that I mean I definitely took a nap. So it's like 6:30 now and I've been playing on my phone for an hour, but I did read a third of this book. I don't have a bookmark, so I don't know why I did that, but I've read a third of this book, and we just got to the part where Percy gets claimed by his dad, and so now he knows that he is a son of Poseidon. So that was fun. I love like how clueless he is. Like, it's kind of hard to like think about him being that clueless, because you, as the reader, like, you already probably know like what you're getting yourself into, and so it's really fun to like see that and experience that again. And yeah, so I'm gonna go check in with my boyfriend and see what he's doing. We might go get food, I don't know, I'm kind of hungry, and then get back to reading. I definitely don't think I'm gonna read 3 books today though, considering that it's already 6:30 and I've only read 1/3 of the first book. I knew that was gonna happen. I know myself, and I knew I was gonna fall asleep, and I did. So here we are. So I am 2/3 of the way through Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, and it's like 10 o'clock, so definitely not going to get through 3 books today before I go to bed, but I think I will be able to finish this one and at least start on the Sea of Monsters. They are now in their quest, and they have gotten out to Las Vegas, which means they're about to go to the casino. This book is so funny. It's like so fun to go back and like things I don't remember. Like, the funniest part I think was so far when it was like talking about Grover only knowing 2 songs on the reed pipes, and one of them was So Yesterday by Hilary Duff, and that just made me crack up because I was like, this book is old. And then I looked and it came out in 2005, and I was like, wow, I remember being the biggest Hilary Duff fan. I still have her CD in my car, which is crazy. But yeah, so 2/3 of the way through this one, I'm about to finish this one up, and then I'll start on the next one. Okay, hello friends. It is almost midnight and I have finished book 1 of Percy Jackson. These books are so good. I love them. I think I'm going to read a little bit of the next one, which is Sea of Monsters. And in this one, Percy and Annabeth and Grover go on a quest to get the Golden Fleece and return it to camp because the camp is dying. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to start on that one, and then I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay, hello friends, good morning. I have started the Sea of Monsters. I'm about 60 pages in or so only like 20%, but this is like a short one. I think this is the shortest one. And so far, all we have done is Percy has gone to camp and he has realized that camp is dangerous and that someone has poisoned Talia's tree. I don't think he's quite put together that they need to go get the Golden Fleece yet, but of course, that is the mission of this book. It is 10 a.m. and I am just getting started. I'm going to go to a coffee shop and read for a bit. Realistically, at this point in time, I don't think I will get all the rest of the books read today. Maybe by Monday I'll get them, but I'm going to keep doing this vlog no matter what. like, I'm gonna read through the whole series. I just wanted to read them all this weekend, but I kind of foiled my own plans yesterday when I took a nap and then went to dinner and just kind of didn't read for majority of the day. But that's okay. We're gonna keep on trucking, and I'm gonna go get my coffee and jump back into the Sea of Monsters. Hello cuties! So I went to my coffee shop and I finished the Sea of Monsters, so we are done with book 2. This one is good, but it's definitely not the first one. I kind of forgot about Clarice's involvement in this book, so that was like a fun little thing that I kind of forgot about. But overall, I do like this book. And then at the end, when Talia wakes up, or Talia or Thalia, I've listened to the audiobooks, and like some of them say Talia and some of them say Thalia. But either way, Talia wakes up at the end of this one, and then next we are going to jump into the Titan's Curse. Historically, this has been my least favorite one. I think it just feels kind of similar to the second one, like somebody gets taken and you have to go get them. Kind of like a very similar type quest, but I am excited to jump into this one. This also is the first time we meet Nico and Bianca, which it's always a fun little, like, meeting new characters is so fun. Like in like this Sea of Monsters, the new character that we mostly met was Tyson, which is like the Cyclops, and he's so sweet and cute and we love him, protect him at all cost. And so yeah, in this one I'm pretty sure that is when, let's see, yeah, 2 powerful half-bloods. So this is definitely where they discover them. And then, you know, it gets even spicier about the big prophecy, because then there's 4 children of the big 3. So yeah, I will go home and probably put on some football in the background and get started on book number 3. Hello friends, so it is almost 8 p.m. on Sunday, and I haven't made that much progress. I did start this book, but I've only read about 50 pages because I took another nap, and then my boyfriend and I went to Wingstop, and I've been watching football because it is Sunday, so I just watched all the 4 o'clock games. And now I have some chores to do and just some cleaning up. And so I was able to find an audio of this one, The Titan's Curse. So I'm going to pop on that audio and I'm going to try and get some stuff done and hopefully finish this one up tonight and maybe start the 4th one. But yeah, so far all we've done is get the D'Angelos from the school, and Annabeth is missing. So yeah, I'm going to pop that audio on and get some stuff done. have kind of lost my voice, so just bear with, but I just did my nails and they're already like completely messing up. This one, my nail just broke. Oh. Okay. Anyways, I'm here to check in with you about the Titan's Curse. So it is in fact next Sunday. So it has been an entire week since I spoke with you guys, and I had a really busy week. I had 2 cheer competitions and a game for the team that I coach, and I also started a new unit with both of my classes, which is just kind of a crazy transition. And so I was really busy at work, so I didn't read too much. I did read a little bit, but that's kind of for other vlogs. So it has been a week, and I am picking back up with my Percy Jackson readathon. Clearly the plan to read this all in one weekend did not happen, but that is okay. We are still going to finish out reading the books. So at this point in time, I have read about 60% of the Titan's Curse, and this has historically always been my least favorite book, and it's still probably my least favorite book. I just think this one is kind of boring, and I don't love the hunters, and I don't really love like what happens with Bianca, the fact that she just dies like so soon into the quest. But yeah, this is not super my favorite. I'm 66 or 60%, so I'm on page like, I think I'm on page like 199 or something like that. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, so I'm on page 199, chapter 14. So I still have about 120 pages left. So I will probably try and finish this soon and then start on the next ones. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have to tell you, my boyfriend read my boyfriend read the new book, and he didn't even tell me he was reading it. And then I just saw his freaking Goodreads update, and so I texted him. I'm gonna put the screenshot on the screen. Like, what the heck? This man is so crazy. He didn't even tell me he was reading it, and he goes, I didn't know I was supposed to. What? But he said it was good, so that makes me really excited to read the newest book. But of course, I need to finish my reread first. So I have some serious Percy Jackson reading to do. Okay, and then I have finished the Titan's Curse. So we are checking in for my update at the end of book 3. This is definitely not a favorite. This is 3 stars. I'm excited though because Battle of the Labyrinth is like historically one of my favorite books. So yeah, so we finished this one. A couple notes, I guess. One thing I do like about this book is I like the prophecy and kind of like how the prophecy from the Oracle kind of gets fulfilled. Like, I do think it's like a nice prophecy. Not nice. There's nothing nice about this prophecy. People die. That's not what I meant. But like, it's satisfying, like the wording and just like the events of the book. I like that. Another thing that I have to update this vlog about is I saw a TikTok about Thalia and how it is pronounced Thalia because the name, if you spell it in Greek, it starts with a theta, and the theta makes the sound, so it is Thalia, not Talia. So that TikTok convinced me. So nonetheless, Thalia. And then at the end of this book is where Thalia joins the hunters the day before her 16th birthday, so she will never turn 16 and she will not be the child of the prophecy. And then Percy goes back to Camp Half-Blood and he figures out that Nico is the son of Hades, and he's like, no, we're protecting Nico, like I'm gonna be the child of the prophecy. And they're like, well, that's kind of like a big thing to take on, and he's like, yeah, but I'm doing it. So yeah, so now we are set up for book 4, which is the Battle of the Labyrinth. I have the OG cover in this one, and this is the next summer, so Percy is 15, and this is where Luke and his army, who are fighting for the Titans, try to invade camp. And so they are down in Daedalus's I was so close to saying that right on the first try. They are down in Daedalus's labyrinth, and they are trying to work their way through the labyrinth, and yeah, and so is like Luke's army. And so then we spent a lot of time in the labyrinth. So I really enjoyed this one. I'm very excited. I think this one has like some really fun little elements. Like the labyrinth is very cool. And I think this is the one where they end up in Alcatraz, which I just always think that's funny. Like I always think about like places. I'm like, Percy Jackson went here and here and here and here. And then there's been like so many of those places that I've now gone. And like Alcatraz was one of the ones that I just like remember them going to, and I went to Alcatraz in 2022, and so it's just like funny to see them like go places. Like in the third book they go to the Hoover Dam. I still haven't been there, but when I do, I'll just think about Percy Jackson. And I've been to the Arch, which they went to in the first book, and I've obviously went to New York City because, you know, I have like a New York City vlog on my channel. But anyway, so I will be starting book 4 next, and another really super exciting update about the Percy Jackson series is I was in Barnes & Noble today, and I just went to like look at the new book because I was like, I'm not gonna buy it because they don't have all the covers matching in hardback. Guess what? They freaking do. Barnes & Noble put out hardback covers of these covers with this spine, so they put out hardback covers or hardback editions of these covers that go with the covers for the new books in hardback. And so I bought the 2 newest books. I bought the Chalice of the Gods and the Wrath of the Triple-Headed Goddess in hardback. They're downstairs. I just like didn't bring them up for this update. And so now they have these covers in hardback. So that is definitely something I will be adding to my collection. I literally almost screamed in the store. Like, I was like, you're kidding. This is what I've been complaining about for a year and a half. And like, I am ready for this. Like, I'm so ready. And so, yes, they heard me. They did it. Barnes & Noble did that thing. And yeah, so exciting. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. Bye. I'll see you soon. Okay, and I say okay and because I just filmed like 4 other updates. So I'm here to update about the Battle of the Labyrinth, Percy Jackson. So this vlog has taken way longer than anticipated, but that is okay. We are rolling, we're rereading, we're preparing for the new book. The new book is out now. It's been out for like a month. Just kidding, not quite a month, but like feels like it. I think I'm going to change my plan here and just read the first 5 books for this vlog and then a separate book for a separate vlog for the 2 new books. But anyways, so I'm reading the Battle of the Labyrinth. I think I'm like 40% in. Like at this point they have their quest and they've gone into the labyrinth, and in this quest Annabeth is leading the quest, and because what's happening is Luke is trying to invade camp, and the way that he plans on invading camp is going through the labyrinth directly into camp so that he can surpass the magical borders, because there is an entrance to the labyrinth inside of the camp borders at these rocks. And so Luke is trying to figure out a way to navigate the maze, and obviously the camp also wants to try to figure out a way to navigate the maze because they want to stop Luke. And then the other part of this is Kronos is like really close to having enough power to reform, and he really needs one more powerful demigod, and this is where Nico D'Angelo comes in. He's still kind of missing and he's still kind of like doing his own thing. And then Percy starts to like get these messages sent to him about Nico's whereabouts and trying to find him. And so while the campers, so we have Annabeth, Percy, Grover, and Tyson on the quest, which is unusual. You're not supposed to have 4 people on the quest, but they go on this quest, and one of their first things is they find Nico, and they try to kind of take care of him and take him back under their wing so that he doesn't go to Kronos' side. And Nico obviously wants nothing to do with Percy because his sister died on Percy's watch, and he blames Percy for his sister's death. So that's one aspect of it. And also Grover is trying to find Pan still, and he has not found anything since his Pan kind of, not sighting, but like the clue that he got in the 3rd book when they like had the spirit of Pan, and it was like, I'm waiting for you kind of thing. And so Grover is also looking for Pan in the labyrinth, but he doesn't like being underground. And so we got a lot going on here, and this book is really good. I like this one. I think this book's so fun. So we haven't had too much happen, but they have gone to the farm and gotten Nico. And so yeah, so we have that book to finish up as well, and then the 5th book to read. So that is my update for my Percy Jackson situation. Hello, I'm here to check in about my Percy Jackson reread, and I genuinely don't remember where I was the last time I updated you. I think I was probably in Battle of the Labyrinth book 4, but since then I have finished the Battle of the Labyrinth, started The Last Olympian, finished The Last Olympian, and read half of the Chalice of the Gods. So I kind of just went on a rampage the past few days and was binging these books because I just really want to read the newest one. I am so excited to get to it, and so I was like, okay, I have to finish my reread. So quick thoughts on books 4 and 5 and where I'm at in 6 so far. So thoughts on book 4, The Battle of the Labyrinth. I really do like this book. I think it has some of the most unique plot lines and just things in it with the Labyrinth, because the Labyrinth is such a unique setting. I really do love the characters. I love how we get to, have Daedalus in there and all that stuff. So I really do enjoy that one. And then book 5, as many times as I read this series, there's like still parts of book 5 that I genuinely forget every time, and just all of the little details and the way everything comes together for the whole book series is just so beautiful. And just like you find out like what happened to Luke's mom and like why Luke kind of went down the path that he did, and you also find out more about Annabeth and Luke's backstory, and I just really like how all the details come together, and like Percy can finally figure everything out and he can, work through the situation. Also, the spy part never ceases to be upsetting to me, that there is a spy at Camp Half-Blood. Again, this book has spoilers, so it's fine. Not this book, this video, but yeah, I really like the 5th book. I love how it ends and he doesn't choose immortality, and that he like stands up for the other god or the other half-bloods. And yeah, I just love that series. And so imagine my surprise and excitement when there was more, right? So before the next series starts, there is the Heroes of Olympus series, which is 5 books, and it is a whole crazy ride that I don't really want to spoil much of, because I feel like that is a less popular series and a lot of people haven't read it. And if you haven't, I highly recommend it. The books are longer than Percy Jackson. They're like 500-ish pages each, but they still read really quick, and they're so good and they're so interesting. Reading the Percy Jackson series makes me want to read those next, because you get that next prophecy for that series at the very end of book 5. So if you know what I'm talking about, where Rachel spews out this next great prophecy, that is the prophecy that they are following in the Heroes of Olympus series. So I really love those, but those just take a bit longer to read, and I have some other reading plans for the rest of the year, so I am not going to read those for now, but maybe I'll read them again next year when I do my reread. And yeah, so I do want to read those, but anywho, so we have the events of the Heroes of Olympus, and then we have the 6th book picking up with Percy's senior year after the events of that book. And so if you haven't read the Heroes of Olympus, there are going to be like slight spoilers and mentions of kind of what happened in those books, based on the fact that they're just like set after them chronologically. My boyfriend read it without reading the Heroes of Olympus series, and he didn't really feel like it spoiled anything, or like he read the Heroes of Olympus after and he didn't really feel like it spoiled anything, but there are references to what happens in those books, so just be aware. But this one is so fun. I just genuinely, I love Percy Jackson as a character, and his evolution from 12 years old to 17, 18 years old in this senior year is so funny. His personality has like really developed, and I think like the way that Rick Riordan writes his character and his like sarcasm and stuff is just so funny and so spot on for how I would have expected Percy Jackson to age. And in this book, he is doing a quest for Ganymede, which is the cupbearer of the gods, and he has lost his chalice, which he thinks someone has stolen from him. And so Percy Jackson is on a quest to get back the chalice of the gods before the next brunch, and so that he can get a letter of recommendation from Ganymede for his college, because in order to go to New Rome, because he's a child of the big 3, he has to get 3 letters of recommendations from quest that gods sought him out for, like new quest. So yeah, that is that one. And it's so funny, this book, there's like so many little fun things that they do. Like so far they saw Hebe, which is like the goddess of youth, and she has like a weird arcade called Heebie Jeebies, which is so funny, and it's like set right in Times Square. And then the next person they see is Iris, and Iris is like presenting like an old lady at a farmer's market selling like crystals and stuff, and that's very funny as well. And her daughter is like monochrome and only does black stuff, because Iris is like the goddess of the rainbow and stuff like that. So very fun little adventures there. I am about 50% of the way through that one, and yeah, I will probably finish that one very soon. I've been listening to it on audio, and then I will finally get to start the 7th book, which I will not spoil because it is brand new. And then on my Kindle, I have started the 7th Percy Jackson book, the new one, The Wrath of the Triple Goddess or something. And I genuinely started this one in October, and I read like the first 20%, and I didn't really get into it, which is kind of tragic. Hello friends, I am here. Alexa, no one's talking to you. Okay, hello, I'm here with my final update on my Percy Jackson reading vlog. So I did finally finish The Wrath of the Triple Goddess. It genuinely took me so long. I started it in October and I didn't finish it until the beginning of December, which is kind of tragic, and I genuinely just could not get through it. I had to wait until my audiobook loan came in from the library to finish the book because I was reading it on my Kindle and I just did not want to pick it up. And it's really tragic because this whole video was for me to reread the books so that I could read this one, and it wasn't bad, it just wasn't my favorite. There was just something about it, it was just not it for me. So in this book, he's doing his second quest for his letter of recommendation, and his quest is to watch, what is her, this is how crazy this is like how much I didn't like this book. I just said it wasn't bad. I literally can't even remember. So his quest is to watch Hecate's house the week of Halloween, because Hecate is like the goddess of magic and a lot of other things, but like she does magic stuff, and the week of Halloween she's like, all of these celebrations are about me, and so she's like traveling all over the world for these like Halloween celebrations because she says they are celebrating her. And so they have to watch her house, and obviously her house is magical, and she has 2 pets. She has the polecat Gale and Hecuba the hellhound, which were both people that she turned into animals. And then she has a whole other just like array of things in her house that are kind of crazy. She has these eels, and then she has like talking door knockers and just like a bunch of stuff. And so like the quest is just to do the house, right? Obviously stuff continues to go wrong or like wouldn't be a book. And it just wasn't that interesting to me. Like the stuff that was happening was fine, and I did get invested to an extent, but this was just really a miss for me, which is very unfortunate because you guys know I love this series, but this one was not a favorite, and I am not looking forward to reading this again anytime soon, which is kind of like hard for me to say and believe because last year I read The Chalice of the God twice within like 3 months of it coming out because I loved it. So definitely a disappointment. I would definitely say that this has now replaced The Titan's Curse for my least favorite Percy Jackson book that exists, unfortunately. So kind of annoying that I did this whole reading vlog all to read this book and it wasn't it for me. But that is okay. Not every book is going to be perfect for me. And yeah, I don't think it's a bad book. I definitely recommend reading it if you're into the series. My boyfriend liked it just fine. It just wasn't what I was looking for, so it wasn't a hit for me. That is all I have to say about these books. If you watched this video, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your favorite Percy Jackson book is down below. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe and stick around for more videos. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Love you!